This is Mrs. H, and I just want to welcome you back to my channel. And yeah, it's been a while, eh? I just want to appreciate all those that are going with me in this journey of YouTube. As you understand that it's a new journey to me. So I don't know if I'm on the right angle. All right. So now this is a new journey to me, and it's beautiful. I'm enjoying every minute. So like, yeah, I'm going to talk about an exciting topic today. It's really nice, and I just want to say that during this lockdown, I am back to my office. Praise Jesus. I finally got a permit to continue with my business. So now I have this wonderful topic to talk about today, which says the realities of honeymoon stage. Okay, first of all, I qualify to talk about this because I am married. First of all, I am married, as you all know. I am married to Reverend Patrick Shengane, my handsome husband. He is tall, good looking, and all that. Oh my word, he is so charming, like I can't deal. Okay, we got married in 2006 on the 9th of December, which is his birthday month. Oh, so lovely. So yeah, my husband and I dated for a year and then got married, and yeah, it has been sweet since then. And so now what I'm going to talk about today is the realities of honeymoon stage, as I've already said. What is honeymoon stage? I want you guys to understand me that I'm this kind of person that is very much detailed, and so whenever I do my topics, you will see me referring and you will see me looking at my notes and whatnot. I'm that kind of a person. I'm not sure if it's because of my work or something, but this one today is a chat. So don't mind if I look on my iPad and time and again. So now, what is honeymoon phase or honeymoon stage? Of course, we understand that there's honeymoon, the nice trip, the whatnot straight after marriage, but there's what we call honeymoon stage or phase. That one is the first few months of marriage. Like sometimes it goes to a year or 2 years, but like I will talk about the first few months of marriage, which is universally known as that stage of romance. It's tender and idealistic. We have many ideas about it and whatnot. So now what I did, okay, firstly, this stage is derived from the number of stages of marriage, and of course we have I'm not sure, a lot of people have their different opinions, but I'm just going to tell you about what I think and what I have researched. There's stages of marriage. There's number one, the honeymoon phase, what we're going to talk about today. So you're gonna use stage or phase. It doesn't matter, honestly, it's the same thing. So the honeymoon phase, number one. Number two, the adjustment phase. Number three, the great escape phase. The reassessment phase. The growing together phase. The midlife strife phase, and finally the great fulfillment phase. So it's all these phases that we experience in marriage. So now all the other ones are topics for other days, but today we're just going to talk about the first one, which is the honeymoon phase. All right. What I did, I conducted a survey, which was the most exciting thing ever, and it's so interesting. I conducted a survey from single ladies and from already married ladies. I have a few ladies that I know, and it was exciting to get those feedbacks. So what I'm gonna do now, I've categorized my topic into 4. Number 1, I will talk about what we expect it to be. There's what we expect honeymoon phase to be. Number 2, what it really is. Number 3, the good side and the bad side. You understand? So now, for this first part, I will give the feedbacks of my surveys. Firstly, I will start with the ones from the single ladies. All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. So what they were telling me, I was asking them a beautiful question that, please tell me what you think honeymoon phase is all about in marriage. What do you expect to get from honeymoon phase? And my girls told me different stories, but they are interesting. All right. First of all, they'll be anonymous. I don't want you guys to know their names. All right. The first one said that number 1, honeymoon phase is a phase of joy, and and thinking that this person is all perfect. Oh, this is so beautiful. Yeah. And then secondly, she said that sharing space is an issue for her, that you're somewhat uncomfortable, but head over heels as you overlook most things, that they don't think it will be comfortable to share the space with someone because they've been used to their own space like most of their lives. So it's a bit, that one would be a bit uncomfortable, though they think it is a phase of joy and all this perfect person. And then number 3, oh yeah, they think this one thinks it is a phase whereby they will struggle with being uncomfortable with nakedness. Taking off your clothes in front of your husband for the first time and bathing in front of him and all that. Having to deal with your insecurities, like the fact that are they comfortable, like do they like my body, am I attractive and whatnot, all of that stuff. So it's what this one thinks, that it's good and bad. It's good and bad. Okay. This one, beautiful. This one says she expects love and commitment. She expects sexual faithfulness. Like, you must just be faithful. That's what they expect sexually, and not sleep around. Oh my word. It's the first phase of marriage. You can't be sleeping around. In fact, you can't be sleeping around for the rest of the marriage. And she expects humility. She expects patience and forgiveness. She expects the husband to give her time and vice versa. Like, you give each other time. And she expects honesty and trust. She expects communication and selflessness. All right. Yeah, that's beautiful. I don't know whether it's all possible during the first phase, but it's what she expects. It's what some ladies expect from you guys, and in fact from the honeymoon phase. This one expects unconditional love and trying to adjust to the fact that I'm no longer single now. Now we are 2, and everything that I do, I must always consider and consult my partner. Yeah, it's what they will be learning in the during the honeymoon phase. Trying to learn his love language. That's beautiful. And trying to understand the guy. And learning to be more comfortable around the partner and the family. Loyalty, honesty, peace, and happiness during that phase. Okay, that's beautiful. All right. This one says, I expect to be loved by my husband. And true colors of the person. That's what I expect to get to know. And their strengths and their weaknesses. Differences, yeah, of course. Disagreements, a lot of those, and fights. It's what she expects. And Yeah, that's it for this one. Yeah, and what else do we have here? What else do we have? Experiencing too much love. Oh, not knowing how it really feels, how it's done and whatnot. But I'm thinking I'll just be blown away from being so loved. All right. She expects disappointment from the high expectations. So true. Yeah, because they will both have high expectations of each other, and she expects to be disappointed. Knowing what to say to keep him happy always, because you're not used to staying with this person, and expecting to experience a lot of discoveries about who the partner is generally, and having to learn a lot more than what I already know. Beautiful. I love this one. I'm also expecting an awkward sex experience because I have no experience, and besides that, having to be surprised each and every time. That's in my mind, not in the reality. Yeah, but it's true. It's so true. Awkwardness. Okay. This one, lovey-dovey. I want to experience connection, affection, and strong bond. To be playful with him. They expect to play. Don't be stiff. And I expect romance. I expect gifts, like smaller gifts, flowers, money. She says that I hope you won't be stingy. And okay, I expect adventure. Wow. Bike ride and mountain climbing, and to do all those crazy things with husband. And I expect that I will get to know more about him and his family, what he likes and what he doesn't like. And intimacy. I want to know how it feels to make love with my husband. Most girls want to know that part. And all right. Okay, this one expects understanding, since it's her first time to stay with the husband. Expects communication. Expects to be 90% of the husband's decision making. All right. To be 90% involved in their decision making. Okay. Then the first 6 months should be about learning how to have fun with each other in good and bad. And excitement over everything. I like this part. All right. And yeah. This one expects fun, romance, good things, chocolates, popcorns, flowers, or anything like that. And of course wants to know the likes and dislikes, how it feels to have sex. How it feels to have sex with someone that you will spend the rest of your life with. So beautiful. And this is so, I really don't expect much disappointments, but I do just a little. Also attention. I expect to have all his attention, love, affection, respect, and yonke londo. It's what the girl says. All right. Now, moving on from what the girls said to what the married women said. This one will form part of my number 2. You all heard what the girls expect from the honeymoon phase. So now we want to hear from the married people, and it will form part of my number 2, what honeymoon phase really is. Do you understand? First of all, from my point of view, And honeymoon phase is it's a beautiful phase. It is a beautiful phase, and from what the girls are expecting, I would like to agree with them. It's what I also expected. Most of the things they said, it's what I also expected from honeymoon phase, that it's a beautiful stage of marriage where you get to know each other, where you get to be spoiled, and where you get to get all the attention that you've always wanted from boys, and where you get to be number one, be treated like a queen, and whatever you ask for, it comes and whatnot. So it's that kind of a thing that you expect from the honeymoon phase, and as a female. And now, coming to what it really is, it's not that different from what they say, but I just want to let you know that couples differ. Marriages differ. It's what they always say, that never ever ever treat your marriage as the other person's marriage, because marriages are different, because there's different personalities. People are there's different personalities, different temperaments. There's cholerics, there's sanguines, there's phlegmatics, there's melancholics. Yeah, what did I not mention? Those 4 temperaments. And so you must understand that your marriage will never be the same if you have if there's a couple, a choleric and a phlegmatic, and on this side we have a melancholic and a choleric or something like, or a sanguine. So the marriage, you can't expect your marriages to be the same, because there are a lot of things that contribute to a marriage. There's the characters of the people involved, there's their personalities, there's backgrounds, there's everything. So now these are all the things that form the marriage. So now what I'm gonna say is that honeymoon phase is reality. First of all, that okay, you've been in a relationship, you've been dating with this person, and now you finally get married. While dating, there are things that you don't say, there are things that you don't see about this person, because you don't stay together, and you don't even have that kind of commitment that you know what, this is a lifetime thing. When you're dating, you can't be that sure that this is forever and whatnot. But when you're married now, you know that, oh, so all what he said is true. All what he said about me is true. He really loves me. He really wants to spend the rest of his life with me. So now it's realities. And second realities is that you get to know the real person behind the camouflage of dating. Behind, you get to know, because you during dating, I'd say you kind of know the outside and a bit of the inside. But now when you are married, during the honeymoon phase, you are introduced to the inner person, what this person is like, what he is like when he's angry, what he is like when he is happy. Do you understand? When he's hungry. Some people cry when they're hungry, some people get serious cramps when they're hungry, some people get grumpy. All those different reactions, and you are introduced to how they react how they show love in a deeper sense. How are they when they like make love seriously, and not just the kissing and hugging from the dating and whatnot, but now you get to know the real deal. You are introduced to the real person, because sometimes you would see this person at church, you see this person, you stroll in the mall, you visit them at their home, they visit you and whatnot, but you never stayed together. You never knew the realities. You get to see if this person, how they react when they under pressure. You get to see that in marriage. You get to see if they cry when they're watching movies, or if you get to their emotions, if they are emotional people or not. So now, these are the things that you experience. You get to experience how they grew up. Maybe during dating, they just told you that okay, I grew up like this. Maybe my parents died at a younger age, or my mother was always away, or my dad was a soldier, he was never around, or I was raised by a single parent. He always told you these stories. But now, during the honeymoon phase, you are introduced to how he really is, like from the background that he has told you about, how it made him. Do you understand? You come from different backgrounds. Now you need to know if this person, what did they teach him at home? Did they teach him to immediately wash his dishes after eating? Did they teach him to or just throw things around, his clothes around, and expect a woman to pick them up? We come from different backgrounds, so now you are introduced to those kinds of things during the honeymoon phase. And of course, we can't run away from the fact that there's romance that we expect, and tenderness that we expect in the honeymoon phase. And you want to see, you are introduced to how this person is, like, how is he intimate, does he have attachment issues? Do you understand? Does he really understand how to love a woman? Did his dad teach him how to love a woman, or what, or not? So now I'm gonna read a few responses that I received from the married ladies, and that all right, she says that she had always imagined that she will be the ultimate wife and homemaker in terms of having home cooked meals, making sure lovers' breakfast and lunch are made, etc. But she says, I guess it's safe to say it worked out to be complete opposite. Instead, it made me feel very creepy about myself, especially with the knowledge that my lover really loves it when I cook. I set an unrealistic expectation for myself there. Do you understand? We all imagine that. For example, us as girls, we grow up playing Dolly House. I used to love cooking, like the fake cooking during Dolly House, and then you would bring your toy pots, your dishes, your whatnot, and your dolls. You would pretend as if you're cooking for people. You would pretend as if you're taking care of people. You're feeding them and whatnot. But then, so that thing instills that kind of behavior in us. And of course, what we see from our mothers, that they cook for us, they make sure we're well fed and whatnot. It's so cool. And then you imagine that for yourself. You imagine that yourself as that kind of a wife that, oh yeah, during honeymoon phase, I will make sure that I cook this and that and whatnot. But then she says that during honeymoon phase, she experienced a complete opposite of that, because it was overwhelming and all of that. And then she says that there's the confusion with this thing of dating in the values and morals. Do you understand? That she says the confusion with this thing is our values and morals were the same, which is why we were attracted to each other. Okay. But as for being the same in entirety, it's not true. We do different things. We deal with things differently, etc. Yeah, so now she says she experienced that the way they do things is different, totally different. And it all goes back to what I said in my introduction, that you are from different backgrounds. You can't be the same. There's different personalities, there's different temperaments, there's different characters, and of course you are from different backgrounds. You're not groomed the same, so you can never expect to be the same. And so she says that she experienced a lot of those differences, which weren't that exciting. Do you understand? Because you have that idea that, oh, we'll want to do this thing thing together. Maybe like when I cook, he'll peel the potatoes, he'll chop stuff for me, and when we wash the dishes, I'll wash and he'll dry. Do they all enjoy doing that? Not at all. I don't know if there's most guys that enjoy doing that, but most guys, they just aren't domesticated. They don't like being in the kitchen and whatnot, but there's those that like, and I commend them. She says that there was a lot of there was a lot of awkwardness in sex. Yeah, because she expected a lot from sex, based on what she has heard from her friends, she has seen in media, and she had high expectations. And oh my word, because she says she wasn't active in sex during before marriage, so now it was like a different experience altogether. And as opposed to what she saw in media and what she heard people say about it, it made high expectations, and she was kind of disappointed for the first few months of marriage. Can you imagine? Can you really imagine? Because when you heard what the ladies expect from the honeymoon phase, they expect all lovey-dovey, and all of them, most of them mentioned this thing of sex, that they want to experience it because it's being put so as it's, I don't know if I may say it's overrated or what in media, and what people say about it and whatnot, as opposed to what you actually experience for the first time, and for the first few months, and you feel like you're trying to do it right, you're trying to get it right and whatnot. What happens with the contraceptives? We'll all have this confusion. Which one is right? That one will make you fat. That one will do this and that to you. So which one is right? The other one will make you dry and whatnot. So now you need to know all these things, and all this information is so overwhelming. So I understand this lady's experience, that it was too much for her. So now I want to say, you experience this kind of thing during the honeymoon phase, as opposed to the what we expect from it, what all those things that we would like to experience in honeymoon phase. It's actually not as beautiful as we all think. Not as, because there's what I said, there's number 3, the good side. There's also number 4, the bad side. So these are the things that we experience in the bad side of honeymoon phase. Though it after getting it right during the same honeymoon phase, sex becomes really, really, really good. Do you understand? So now the only trick is in getting it right. So now, lastly, she says that the family boundaries and whatnot. Okay, she says, I want to read this. I knew that my ability to communicate wasn't that great, but wow, I realized that I really needed to work on that side, you know, because there's what we do with my husband for the couples that are going to get married, the premarital counseling sessions. We include what we call we try to check how social are you, because you really, really need to be social. You need to be that kind of a person when you get married, because you will need to communicate with your husband in time and again. You're going to stay with this person like for the rest of your life. You can't just keep quiet, and there's in-laws that you need to communicate with. You need to be a nice person. You need to be a nice makoti. So now there's this challenge that if you think you're not that good at communication and at socializing, you must really work on it, because it will really become a problem for you when you get married. So now she realized that she needed to work harder on the communication part with the husband and with other people. Yeah, and oh, this one is beautiful. She says that my husband really, really loves me, and our friendship is the best thing for us. It's such a beautiful love story. They experienced all the beauty and the bad side of honeymoon phase, but at the end of the day, it produced a beautiful bond between her and her husband. They have a beautiful marriage. It has love. It has a warmth. She says they are best friends. I really love that. And this one says what she experienced during honeymoon phase. She experienced quality time with the husband. She experienced love and intimacy with the love of her life. She experienced oneness. Yeah. And she experienced prayer sessions together. And yeah, that's it. And this one says, we appreciated each other. We appreciated each other and each other's company, and we still do even today. I want you to note that one. And we are more spontaneous. Okay, since then, we were more spontaneous, but not anymore. We were more spontaneous during the honeymoon phase, but not anymore due to family commitments, I understand. And we were more intimate. We were more intimate at that time, and we traveled a lot. Yeah, that's beautiful. And this one says, you're... I like this part that says, "Dicela umtu owathi honeymoon phase to go straight to jail because it's a salty moon." That was a joke, but like I love it because it's not as you have read, as you have heard, as I am reading these feedbacks, that there's good and bad. There's the ideal from the single ladies, there's little bad, but from the married ladies, there's there's bad. Like there's good and bad. There's reality. You understand? So now, number one, you get to experience from this ladies survey. You get to experience how deep your spouse is spiritually. You get to know their relationship with God, which is so true and so true. Like you get to experience how genuine are they, because they told you that they have a good relationship with God. They told you all this during the dating period, but now you get to experience it and see if it was real or not. Differences caused by your different backgrounds, I've been saying that, and the couple's strengths and weaknesses are exposed. The other spouse will see whether you are strong in this part or you are weak in this part. It's I don't know if it's embarrassing or it's what, but you really see who each other are in this part. And the gaps that need to be filled in your spouse to be able to start a journey of marriage. Yeah, I think it applies to both. If there's gaps, maybe there was a missing father, there was a missing mother, there was parts that are missing in the spouse's life, because we all know we all walk different journeys before we meet. So now you don't know what is missing in their lives, and you get to realize it during the honeymoon phase, and you decide how will you get in the gap, how will you assist your spouse, because you're going to start a journey with this person for the rest of your life. So now this one says the reality is just the deep stuff, not the fantasies that we think about. It's the realities. And I want to say that I totally agree with this lady that marriage is the first phase of marriage, which is the honeymoon phase. You get to realize all those things. But some people, I can tell you that some people can hide. Some people can hide even during their honeymoon phase, and you don't see the real deal up until like a year or more. Do you understand? So now we really need to take this seriously and to understand that marriage has all these different phases, and we need to be true to each other. We need to make sure that we experience it, we embrace the experiences, and you just reveal yourself. We are kulula, like physically and emotionally and spiritually, all those things. you show your spouse who you really are during the first phase of honeymoon. And you do not, I just want to say this, note this, do not take away the fun part during the honeymoon phase. It's been like that, like even from, honeymoon is very biblical, the honeymoon stage. It is said that in the old Israel cultures, that they would, even a soldier would be told not to go to war for the whole year, establishing stuff with the wife, establishing a family, because it's a beautiful journey that they're starting. They must make sure that they enjoy. They teach each other sex until they enjoy it during the honeymoon phase. They just explore romance. They explore life together. For those that have money, they explore places. I saw another wife was telling me that they used to travel a lot with their husband. Now, because of family commitments, they can't. If they decide to go to Cape Town, they'll just rock up and go to Cape Town, but now they can't anymore, you see, because of these different stages that I narrated in the beginning, that there's different stages of marriage, and you need to make sure that they all go in a particular order. It's the honeymoon phase. You don't put the honeymoon phase in between. There's the honeymoon phase. There is the adjustment stage after the honeymoon. There's adjustment. There's the escape phase. There's reassessment. There's growing together phase. There's midlife strife. There's fulfillment at the end of the day. You must always make sure that you and your spouse get to that stage of fulfillment. And it all depends on how you treated the honeymoon phase, on how you because there's the expectations and versus the realities. You must make sure that they blend, because okay, I realize that sometimes we have too much ideas of honeymoon and whatnot, and we expect a lot, but there mustn't be that much difference. If I expect to be spoiled by my husband, at least you must try, and don't just say this is the real world. Don't. We are serious now. We are old. No, a wife must be spoiled. A wife must be treated as the queen that she is, and the husband must also be treated as the king that he is. You all start practicing those things during the honeymoon phase, so that you can adjust well in the following year or something of your marriage, so that your marriage can go peacefully, and you can have a beautiful marriage afterwards. So I just wanted to talk about that, and that because of my experience and because of the experience that I hear from other people, I know that there's ideal honeymoon phase and there's real honeymoon phase, and that I just wanted to let the single ladies know that there are other things entailed by the honeymoon phase, except what we always think of, and there's more to the honeymoon phase than what we just think of, the flowers and all that. There's serious stuff, and I just want to say to the married ladies, keep going in the journey, stay in the race, keep running, and do not be tired. You must know that marriage is a beautiful thing, and it's a godly institution, and we must treat it likewise. And up until my next video, thank you so much. God bless you. Bye.